A really important thing about manifestation is it's not just willing it to exist. Actions have to follow suit. This is the BS4 podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the BS4 podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and today we are talking about manifesting. So I know that it is a trend right now. Everyone's like, manifest the reality you want. You scroll on TikTok and every 3 scrolls, it's like, manifest this, create your dream life, manifest things into reality, how to be a manifestation queen, all the things. And I feel like it's really common to see it. And I think it's important to talk about because manifesting has actually been in my life for about as long as I can remember. And I didn't even realize that I was manifesting the things that I was, or realize that I was manifesting at all. But I kind of always have manifested my life. And it's wild because I'm actively living in a manifestation right now. So we are going to talk about manifesting. And today the B is for building the life that you want to create, building the reality in which you choose to live in and want to live in, and building trust in yourself and the capabilities you have around your own belief system and building your belief in yourself. And ultimately, it'll lead to the reality that you want. So manifesting, common misconception is like, oh, it's just vibes and a vision board. Like if I just put it on my vision board, it'll become a reality. Maybe. If it was just putting stuff on your vision board, I would have been married with a home, with kids, with $1 million in my pocket right now. That's on its way though. But it hasn't happened quite yet. So if it was just whatever I put on my vision board, maybe I would have had that. Me and Michael B. Jordan would have been married. We would have been married. We would have been years married by now. So it's not just what you put on your vision board. Also, Michael, if you see this, hi. Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, anyways. So yeah, if manifesting was just vibes and a vision board, honey, I would be in a whole different place in my life right now. But I actually have created vision boards for myself since 2019. And it's wild. I found an old vision board the other day and literally everything on that vision board came true. It did not come true in the timing that I wanted it to. So it didn't come true the year that I put it on my vision board, but it came true in the time that it was supposed to. And that is the case with every single one of my vision boards. I kid you not. I have to find pictures of them or something, and I'll post them on the BS4 podcast page when I find them. I kid you not, every single vision board I've ever created, every single thing except for one has come true. Everything except for one has come true. Well, maybe 2 things. 2 things have not quite yet come true, but every single thing has come true, just not in the exact timeline that I wanted. So I'm like, oh, I put this on my vision board in 2021. Well, it happened in 2025. It still happened though. And so that's the cool thing and the beauty about manifestation is you create a system and build out these beliefs, build out this reality that you hope to see. And then it's trusting the process that it will come to you. It may not come to you in the timing that you want. It may not come to you in the timing that you expect or you think it should, but it can and will come to you because I firmly believe that there's not a desire placed in your heart that you aren't already experiencing further down the road. Like it would not be in you if it wasn't something for you to ultimately experience. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We're going to have to talk about desires and what that looks like. But let's just zoom back out and talk about what manifesting even is. So manifesting is not magic. It isn't. It's not like you wave a magic wand, you say a little voodoo spell, and then all of a sudden your life is exactly the way you want it to be. Manifesting is choosing your focus, your energy, and your actions and ensuring that all of them align with what your goal is. You are co-creating, literally, your life with God or the universe or the creator, however you define it. You are co-creating with the creator. Manifesting is less about controlling your life and more about collaborating with it, trusting the flow of your life, trusting the timing of your life, but also helping steer the direction of your life. So manifesting is actually backed by science. Stick with me, okay? It is actually backed by science. You have something called your reticular activating system. Say it with me. Your reticular activating system, okay? Your RAS. Your RAS is a network of neurons in your brain that ultimately acts like a filter for all of your thoughts. And it's a filter for all the information that's coming at you 24/7, right? So your brain has created a filtration system, basically. Your senses, your experiences are shooting millions of pieces of information at you all the time. But you would literally lose your mind if you had to process every single bit of information at once. So that's why you have your reticular activating system, your RAS. It helps filter through the thoughts, filter through the information, and kind of show you what information is most important to you in that time. And it decides what's important and then ultimately blocks out the rest. This is also where bias comes in. We'll talk about unconscious bias probably in another episode, but unconscious bias can work for you or against you depending on the situation, but it's all science. Like your brain literally builds a system to filter all the information that you get. But the crazy part is your RAS, your reticular activating system, is literally taught by you. It is literally trained by your beliefs, by your focus, by your emotions. And so if you are constantly thinking about something, if you are ruminating on something, if there's something that requires a lot of your focus all the time, your brain starts to train itself to believe, oh, this information is important to this person. So it will start to filter out other things that aren't necessarily aligned with that piece of information that it's deemed as important. So your thoughts literally wire your brain to show you that those type of thoughts, because you have them so often, are more important. So it'll bring that to the surface, or it'll have you focus there more and filter out information that's less important to you. So, real life example is, let's say that for me, a dream of mine is I want to own a G-Wagon. I've always wanted to own a G-Wagon since I was a kid. I just dreamt of having a G-Wagon. I've always been obsessed with this car, right? I'm going to have a G-Wagon by my 30th birthday. Hear me say that, okay? I've been manifesting this for a while. I am going to have a G-Wagon by my 30th birthday. But let's say I have now deemed a G-Wagon as very important to me. And it's something that I've been thinking about often. Every time I drive, there are hundreds of cars that pass me every day, but I will always spot a G-Wagon. Like, it will always catch my attention. Why? Because my brain has deemed it as important. You noticing these things because your RAS is bringing it to your attention is not because all of a sudden there's just more G-Wagons in the world or there's more red cars in the world. That's not how it works. It's because your RAS tuned in and said, oh, that's important to her. Let me show her more of it. Oh, she wants a G-Wagon. I'm going to show her a G-Wagon all the time because she's deemed that as important to her. So your brain literally alters the reality in which you live based on what you deem as important, which is wild, but scientifically proven. It's the same with opportunities, with people, with ideas. You will start to see more of those things if you deem them to be important. Your brain is literally scanning reality to find matches to what you've been focused on. It's wild. Now, let's talk about this in the reverse, because I am someone who honestly has had to work so hard at building a positive mindset because I knew the implications of my RAS system and how my belief system ultimately creates my reality. I honestly used to be a really negative person. Like positivity, and it's funny, I was on the phone with someone a few days ago. They were like, "You are overwhelmingly positive." And I was like, it's wild you say that because I spent majority of my life not really being an optimist. I was never really a glass half full type of person. I spent majority of my life kind of being a glass half empty. Like I considered myself a realist. But I have quite literally over the last 5 years really retrained my brain in the way that I think about things and reframe situations I'm in. It's funny, I was in high school and Twitter obviously was a big thing at that time. Your girl loved her some Twitter. I haven't had a Twitter account in 10 years though. So if you want to go try and find some shit, you won't, because I ain't had one in a hot minute. I deactivated it before it ever became X. So I'm on Twitter and there was this guy that I had a crush on in high school. And he always would put hashtag positive on his tweets. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I like how he does that, whatever. And one time I DM'd him about it. I was like, oh, I like your tweets, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I do that because of you. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you are so negative. All your tweets are so negative. You're always complaining about something or doing something. And I don't like it. So I just do the opposite. When I tell you that was a stab to the heart, I was like, what do you mean? No, I know what you mean. You literally just said what you mean. You said I suck and you're great, is what you said. No, but on a real note, he really clocked me. He was like, yeah, you're always negative. And I was like, shit, am I? And then I will never forget that moment. I was like, damn, I am low-key hella negative. I start reading all my old tweets. I'm like, damn, I'm negative. Very negative. That's crazy. That was the first time that I ever really clocked oh, dang, I am kind of negative. That was a big realization for me. And so RAS works in the same way on the reverse, y'all. If you are always talking about lack, if you are saying, I am broke, I don't even like saying this stuff out loud because I know how much your words have power and hold weight. So I'm saying this as examples, not as manifestations for my own life. But if you're always saying, I never have enough, or I'm broke, or I'm down bad, or things just never work for me, or I have the worst luck, guess what happens? Your RAS will literally find evidence in your life to confirm that for you. Your RAS will listen to the thoughts that you tell yourself and how important those thoughts are, and it will find scenarios in your life to confirm that for you. It's wild, but it's literally how your brain works. And so I've been super intentional over the last few years of how I talk to myself, how I talk to the people around me, how I let people talk to me. And my life has significantly changed. But one thing I know for sure, and I've always felt this at a young age, I always felt this, is that I was a loving, caring, empathetic, genuine person. I've never, ever questioned my heart and my intentions. And I always knew that I was destined to do something great. Whatever that may be, big or small scale, I knew that there was a calling within me that was destined for greatness. And I stand on that because I've had that belief system since I was a kid, for as long as I can remember. And to be honest, whether that belief system was centered in truth, it doesn't really matter. My belief was my belief and my reality has become my reality. There was a quote I wrote down the other day from a podcast that I actually have listened to. If you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, go listen to it. It quite literally changed my life. That is a podcast I can genuinely say changed my life. I have not listened to a podcast that I've wept. I actually have been in full-blown tears listening to that podcast because it was really affirming in a lot of ways for me. It was eye-opening in a lot of ways for me. And it gave me hope. Hope in humanity, hope in the future, hope in community, Great podcast. Highly recommend it. But in this podcast, it said the act of believing is more important than the fact of believing. I will say that again. The act of believing is more important than the fact of believing. If you believe something to be true, your brain will confirm that belief system through the things that it focuses on, through the things that it prioritizes, through the things that it brings to the forefront of your mind. The act of believing is more important than the fact of believing. Many philosophers agree that something is real if it produces an effect or alters the state of the world. But the state of the world is always through your lens and how you view something. So if you focus on love, if you focus on abundance, if you focus on peace, your brain, your RAS, will start to find evidence of love, of abundance, of peace in your life and show that to you because you've deemed it as important. Your internal world, so your thoughts, your beliefs, teaches your brain what your external world should confirm. Your brain is not here to argue with you. It's here to prove you right. So give it something to prove. Give it a belief system that it can validate. That is literally what manifestation is. And then it's also action. So people like Joe Dispenza talk about manifesting in your reality, and that is a whole rabbit hole that you can go down because he has a lot of teachings about it. But what he says, and I'm looking up the research now, is his key idea is manifestation is about changing your internal state first. His whole framework is how your thoughts and your emotions ultimately shape your reality. Rhonda Byrne, the author of The Secret, wrote, "Where focus goes, energy flows," and literally said she's the person who made the law of attraction mainstream. Basically, that book made the law of attraction mainstream. Where your focus goes, energy flows. If I'm really focused on this G-Wagon, then my energy starts getting poured into this G-Wagon. Then I'm seeing the G-Wagon everywhere. And then all of a sudden I'm taking actions. This is an important part. I'm taking actions to now put myself in a space to receive the G-Wagon. Where focus goes, energy flows. But a really important thing about manifestation is it's not just willing it to exist. Actions have to follow suit. So while you can have this belief system, yes, that you are deserving of certain things, while you can focus on love, on peace, on abundance, you also have to put things into action in order for you to receive these things. If you want to receive abundance, the best way to do so is practice gratitude, okay? Because if things start to come in your life and you don't know how to appreciate them, then your energy is not going to be in a space to receive them, right? If you're focusing on love, but you're not practicing how to give it, then how do you expect to receive it? Everything in life is about balance. True yin and yang, true ebbs and flows, true give and take. Manifesting is the same way. You are not just thinking about something and it exists. You're putting action behind it, preparing your mind for it, preparing your energy for it. That way, when it comes to you, you are in a space to receive. That is the cool thing about manifestation is as much as you focus and build and start to transform your mindset and the reality around you, you also start to move in those ways. Or you have to take time to be intentional about moving in those ways. So you're also co-creating with divine timing, right? Like with God's timing, with the universe's timing for you in particular. You can want something, you can desire something, but it has to come in the right timing for you. It's funny, in 2021, I put on my vision board director. I thought I was going to get promoted or have an opportunity to be promoted in 2021 to director when the title actually came in 2025. Timing. It came. Like the deposits were there, the effort was there, the mindset was there, but truthfully, in 2021, was I operating as a director? Probably not. Aspects, sure. But there was a lot of things that I had to learn, a lot of things that I needed to improve on, and areas that I could grow in that ultimately led me to not only being prepared to be a director now, but I've been acting as such for like 2 years. So part of it was the desire The other part of it was the action and the belief system that I deserve it and that it's something I'm capable of and that it's something that would elevate me and that the steps that would get there, the journey to getting there, are equally as important as the title is. You see what I'm saying? So although I didn't receive it in the year that I thought I would, I still received it in the timing that was right for me. That is a really powerful thing about manifestation, is it'll come to you exactly when you need it. It will happen exactly the way it's supposed to. And if it doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to. And then you'll understand kind of why at some point. Either you were too passive, or you doubted yourself and you felt like you never really deserved it. Or there is something better for you that you weren't even able to see yet, and you trying to build out this manifestation ultimately led you to the better thing. Like the journey, the path, it just ended up playing out the way it was supposed to. So manifestation is equally action as it is belief. The universe does not respond to what you want. The universe responds to what you believe about yourself. The universe also responds to what you are being about. It's not just, oh, this is what I want, but I'm not doing anything to receive it. I'm not putting any of the work in. You know, they do say faith without works is dead. Like, if you have a belief system, but you don't put the effort in, it's not really going to go anywhere. Things will start to happen when you start to move and move in alignment with what your beliefs are. You see? You see what I'm saying? So manifesting is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. There are so many things in my life that I am actively living, and they are manifestations of things that I once wanted, and they've evolved to be even better than what I originally imagined. And this is a realization that I've had recently, is I've always been money driven, and told myself like, oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich. And the reality is now I am rich. I am rich in love. I am rich in experience. I am rich in relationships. I am rich in ability. I have a healthy mind. I have a healthy body. I have a healthy spirit. I have a best friend. I have best friends who love me unconditionally as I do them. I have family that I love unconditionally. I have food on the table. I have a roof over my head. I have a life that I am so excited to wake up to every day. I have created a beautiful mindset for myself. I trust myself more than I ever have. I love myself in ways that I've never loved myself before. I am rich. I get to step outside, breathe in the fresh air without trouble. I get to lay my head on a soft pillow at night. And I have people who really care about me, and I care about them in my corner. And a lot of this was things that I manifested. I literally would say, give me authentic relationships. Put me in a position to be authentic in my relationships. Stability, kindness, generosity are all things that I've always cared about. And now they've all come to me in this life. Like I've manifested a lot of the things that I've deeply desired. And it's also been through gratitude. I've been very intentional about being grateful for every single thing that I have. I wake up every morning and I thank God for the day that I have. Literally. I'm like, thank you, God. Every day. To the point where I even got like this tattoo on my neck is Hic et Nunc. It means here and now in Latin, to remind me to be present. All I have is this moment that I'm sitting in currently. And I manifested this moment. Like I was reading my gratitude journal and reading the entries over the last 6 months. And I would put like, what would make today great? And it would be like closing on my house, starting like the foundation of this podcast, launching this podcast. And now I'm like living in answered prayers. And the vision that I had for myself has ultimately come to fruition and then some. And I know that it's only going to get better from here because I believe that. So manifestation is powerful. A few steps that I think are really important in order to manifest in life and manifest the reality you're looking for are clear intentions. First and foremost, know what you want and why you want it. Clear intentions. Know what you want and why you want it. Write it out. Ask yourself. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Understand the intent of your desires. Then embody that identity. Act as if it's already happening. Act as that version of yourself that does have those things. Be present. Enjoy your life now, not just when it happens. Have gratitude for now, not just when you're going to get the outcomes of your manifestations. Part of you being able to receive is also being rooted and grounded in the present moment and what you have currently. You can't always ask for more without looking down and just being where your feet are sometimes. Also, aligned action. Take tiny steps every day. Every day. Don't have to be big steps, just little steps. I always say success is a series of small wins. Little things, stack them, but make sure that they're aligned and that your actions are aligned with the outcomes that you're desiring. And then let go. Trust the timing of God, trust the timing of the universe. Try to relinquish control, control the controllables, shape your belief system, shape your mindset, take small actions, and then let it be. And trust that everything is going to work out exactly the way it is supposed to work out for you. So a few little affirmations to round us out and get you in the manifestation mindset, and repeat these after me. Everything that's meant for me is already on its way to me now. 2, I am becoming the person who naturally attracts my desires. 3, I trust the timing even if I don't fully understand it yet. Everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. The gap between you and your desires, the gap between you and the life that you want, the gap between you and the future version of yourself is not luck. It's not happenstance. It is literally belief, patience, and alignment. So I want you to pick one thing that you are going to manifest. I want you to say it out loud. I want you to take action on it today. And I want you to practice letting go and just trusting. But make sure that you understand your intentions and why you want it and why that desire sits within you. Find ways to believe that you deserve it, whether it's affirmations, whether it's something, whatever, journaling, etc. And then take small actions towards it every day, and then trust that it will happen the way it is supposed to. If it is meant for you, it will be yours. I believe that. Manifestation is not about forcing. It's not about forcing your reality, or it's not about forcing the idea of what you think your reality should be like in your life. It's about flowing, believing what is meant for you will be yours. That is it. And now we talked about how it can be. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you as always. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.